Hello, hi, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Raisar Maths Classes. I, Priyanshu, welcome all our viewers and subscribers to our channel. In today's video, we are going to study Ncert chapter first of India's and contemporary world, that is resources and development. So, what do you mean by the term resources? Resources are the facilities which satisfy human need or our need is known as in the term of resources. So in this chapter we are going to study about the basic two types of resources that we know as renewable and non-renewable resources, and on many factors also. Now we are going to know the resources in brief by four basic terms. Now we are going to know the basic knowledge about the resources on the basis of origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and on the basis of status of development. So let's start on the basis of exhaustibility. So on the basis of exhaustibility we have two, renewable and non-renewable. What do we mean by renewable? By the word renew means it is going to be reproduced or renewed by the physical, chemical or biological process, and non-renewable by its name, that are not going to be renewed on applying the process. So in the definition term, what is renewable resources? Renewable resources are the resources which can be renewed after a short period of time. And non-renewable resources are the resources that are not renewed or being exhausted from the nature. So example of renewable resources is wind energy, tidal power, solar energy, etc. And the example of non-renewable source of energy is petroleum and many lubricants oil that are not being renewed in a short period of time. Now we are going to know about the second type of resources on the basis of its origin. In today's world, human beings are going to take its work by human also by making it as a resource. So how it will take place? On the basis of origin, we are going to know about two resources that are biotic and abiotic resources. By the word bio means physical activity done in this process. So in the formula, or we can say that basic term, we are going to say in this that these are the resources which have the presence of human, or we can say that living organism, and abiotic has the presence of non-renewable or non-living organism. So the example of biotic resources is human, animals and plant. And in abiotic we are going to take the examples like water used in water resource or tidal power. Sun is also the renewable source of energy and can be used as abiotic resource also. So these are the basic difference between the biotic and abiotic resources, that in biotic resources presence of human, or we can say that a living organism participate in these type of resources, and abiotic resources non-living organism take participate. Now we are going to know about the third type on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, we have four categories of resources. First one is individual resources, second one is community resources, third one is national, and fourth one is international resources. So we are going to know about these resources. So what is individual resources? By the word individual, we are going to know that it is owned by a particular person. On community, we are going to know that it is used by a whole community or by the public. National resources are the resources which are being in our nation used by the government and people also. And international resources, by the name we are going to know that it is internationally situated somewhere else also. So now on the base of formula or definition, we are going to know that it is the resources which are being used by a particular person or its family. So what are in this individual resources? In the individual resources, we are having the flats, land resources like plot also. These comes in the individual resources. Now in the community resources, we are going to take the example of public places like picnic spot, park or somewhere else. So what will be its definition? So the community resources are the resources which are used by a whole community or the public living in a central or any of the state. Now the third one is national resources. In national resources, we are going to take the example of forest, ocean, rivers also. Why rivers? Rivers are being used to generate the tidal power also. So we are used river as a resource also. So in the definition term, we are going to say that the resources which are being situated beyond the nation is termed as the national resources. Now the international resources, we are going to cultivate in the two terms on oceanic and land. In oceanic terms, we know that ocean comprises of three part in India. So the resources which are beyond 200 kilometer from the land of India are being the national resources, and after 200 kilometers it will become international resources. For example, coal, petroleum and the lubricant oil found in the oceans beyond 200 kilometers categorized in the national resources, and after the 200 kilometers they are going to termed as international resources. Now we have know that on the basis of ocean and inland. Inland, how we can say that it is national or international? The resources which are being situated on the line of control or line of actual control, which are termed as LOC and LAC of any part of the two countries, are termed as the international resources. For example, the indigo plant of West Bengal and Bangladesh is very famous for the blue color ink. So it is also the part of international resources. For these, on the basis of ownership we have completed. Now on the basis of ownership, question arises that how many types and what is being used at the ownership. So ownership is which is used by a person, community or the whole nation is known as the resources on the basis of ownership. Now we are going to know more about resources on the last basis of status of development. Means the resources which are known and used, which are not known but can be used, or etc etc. So we are having four main kinds of resources on the basis of status of development. So first one is stock resources. Stock resources are the resources which are able to satisfy human need but are not used because of the proper technology and knowledge about how we can use this. Potential energy, or we can say that potential resources, the resources which we know that these are the resources and that can satisfy the human need, or we have the perfect knowledge how to use them are termed as the potential development. From the word developed, we are going to know that it is being developed or can be used in future. And in the reserved means it are being reserved or saved for the future generation. So on the definition term, we are going to say that in the stock resources are the resources that are being known but not are used because of the knowledge and the presence of them in the nature. Now, for the potential resources, we are going to say that the resources which have potential to satisfy human needs are known as the potential resources. Definition of developed resources are like this. This is the resource which are being developed and are used by the human in the present world. And in the reserved resources, we are going to say that the goods thing or we are stock them for the future generation. They are being used in the reserved resources. So what are the example of these? Stock, we have the example of nuclear energy. Potential resources are the example like electricity, wind energy, tidal power, and etc. Developed resources are, we can say that wood, coal, petroleum are the few examples of developed resources. And reserve resources also have the common example like developed, that we are reserving the petroleum and the lubricant oil for the future generation. So these are also the example of reserve resources. Now we are going to know about the next topic of our Ncert book, that is land as a resources. By the term, what you are going to understand that how we are using land as a resource. So land is an important part of our life as it provides farmers to grow crops. For us, it provides land to make our houses and survive. For industrialization, it provides land to make industries and to make goods on them. For more other things, so let's start with importance of land. So how the land is important for us? As I told you that it provides us land to live, for industrialization, and for many more things. What are being the relief feature in India means in India there are three type of categories that are found for the vegetation. There are mountains, plain and plateaus. So we are going to discuss that how many percentage does these three things cover. So in India, mountain covers 43% of the total land area present in India. That is of mountain. Plain, it covers 30% of the total land area present in India. And for plateau, it covers 27% of the total land area present in India. So these are the relief features of Indian land distribution that are used for these type of vegetation. Now we have discussed that the word vegetation. So what it means? It means that the country having more and more natural resources. So in mountains we are going to find that tea and many other beverages are grown. In plains we are finding that grams, wheats, these type of product are being cultivated, and in the plateau region mostly the spices and the secondary food product are going to be produced like spice, fruits, dry fruits, etc. So how we utilize the land? It means that how the country or a place is going to utilize its land. So land utilization contains how much forest areas, how much area to live for housing purpose, area of industrialization, area of public and picnic places, and many more. So these all are comes between the land utilization of a country. Now we are going to discuss about the fourth land use pattern in India. In India, there is not a perfect, or we can say that a proper way how to use the land. In the political and physical map of India, we have seen that unusual or unshaped designs state are being formed. So the land use pattern is India is improper, or we can say that unshaped it is. Now the fifth point is the land degradation. So what does it mean? Land degradation is the process that how we utilize our land. So in India, the total percentage of land is 130 million hectares. So how will it utilize? So we are going to know about the forest, housing and water, means the water bodies like ponds, rivers, glaciers, etc. Industrial, picnic place or public places. So we have to know in the Ncert book it is given like this. Forests comprise of 28% of the total land present in India. For the housing and water purpose means big hostels, facilities, schools, all these things including water bodies such as glaciers, rivers, ponds and lakes comprises in India around 56%. Industries, public places and picnic spot comprises of 26% of total land area present in India. Now we are going to know about the last topic, that is conservation of land. So what does it mean? Conservation of land means that the protection of the fertile land from mining. In mining process, we dig the land and bring out the inner soil up and the fertile soil goes downwards. So we have to protect the fertile land from the mining purpose and from the water degradation, means the flow of land, or we can say that soil by the water is very most essential part of the unusement, or we can say that the degradation of land, or in the simpler word we can state this process as soil erosion. From soil erosion we have to conserve our land by planting more and more trees, and from the wind it also help us. So these are the points that we have to know in this chapter and between the topic land as a resources. Now we have completed our previous topic, that is land as a resource. Now we are going to know about what is soil. So soil is a natural thing which help in the production of crops, fruits or many of the trees. Means it is the house of many biotic components. So we are going to know the most important topic, that is the soil profile, that how the soil is present in the nature. So we are going to know about the four main parts of the land. So in the land the four categories are A horizon, B horizon, C horizon and D horizon. So what is the A horizon? A horizon is the uppermost part of the land which consists of humus particles, broken stems of the trees or the small plants, grass, and it contains lot of humus. So it is the uppermost part which is known as the A horizon. It is rich in fertility, can produce more and more trees and plant also. Most of the precious grasses are found in this type of horizon. Now, the second horizon or the B horizon, we can say that is the subsoil, means below the topsoil. It is less fertile than the topsoil, or we can say that it is less fertile by comparing with A horizon. So it contains mostly the roots of the trees and plants, and it is mostly watery and contain most of the water particles. Now we are going to know that what is sea horizon. Sea horizon is the fourth category of the land. Now what does it contains? It contains the small rock particles and it is very lumy in nature. Means it contains high amount of water than the B horizon and it stays in the most below part of the land. It contains rocks which are very sharp and they are mainly red and black in color, which are not in use for any kind. Now what does we call the sea horizon? Sea horizon are the parent rock, means the most of the small stones are present in this. Now the third category is D horizon. D horizon is parent bedrock, means a bed of parent rocks is formed, means this type of category contains high amount of rocks and mainly it contains lot of water in between their gaps, and below this we are containing most of the water and with some part of soil. So this we have completed the most important chapter or the most important critical part, the soil. Now with the completion of the soil profile, we have completed the most of the little part of our chapter, resource and development. This chapter is so long that cannot be completed in a single video. So I have tried the most of the part to complete in short, simple and sweet way. For more videos like this, please like, share and subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon at all. Thank you and have a wonderful day.